Robots are stealing human jobs faster than anyone predicted, and 8 major industries just proved human workers are becoming completely obsolete. Waymo autonomous taxis are already serving 200,000 paid rides per week with 0 human drivers, while Amazon deployed 750,000 warehouse robots that sort packages faster and more accurately than any human worker. In China, robotic gas station attendants refuel cars without human help, and robot chefs trained on 5 million recipes are cooking restaurant-quality meals with perfect precision every single time. Boston Dynamics robots are now operating professional film cameras and performing backflips while capturing movie scenes, completely replacing human camera operators who spent decades mastering their craft. The most terrifying example is robots repairing high-voltage power lines because utility companies realize machines never get electrocuted, never fall, and never demand overtime pay or health insurance. These aren't prototypes or future concepts. Every single one of these robots is working right now, earning money for companies while human workers get laid off and replaced. From taxi drivers to warehouse workers to professional chefs, robots are proving they can do almost every job better, faster, and cheaper than the humans who used to do them. The job apocalypse isn't coming in 10 years, it's happening today, while most people are still pretending their careers are safe from automations. Which job will be the last one that robots can't steal from humans?
Hello my friends, this is Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. And in today's video, as you can tell by that opening clip there, we're going to be talking about the AI takeover of humanity, of society, and how it's starting to take over all the jobs. And very soon, many people are going to be screwed, out of work, and pretty much, what are you going to do, right? Well, government does have a solution for that, and that's universal basic income, which is going to be tied to a social credit score, right? So in today's video, we're just pretty much going to be showing all the industries that AI is going to be taking over, and then we're going to get to possible solutions. So stick around to the end, all right, my friends? So let's just get right into it. Before we do, encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. And also hit the like button, because I am heavily shadow banned and my videos don't get out to my own subscribers. What a shame, eh? So hit the like button, maybe it'll pop up in your feeds. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So as you can see by our opening clip, my friends, this AI takeover of so many jobs has begun. And this is really only the beginning, okay? As we move forward every year from now on, from 2025 on, you're going to see more and more industries getting taken over by AI. Alright? And this is all part of the plan, of course. And it's crazy because there's going to be only few things that humans will be able to do that AI won't be able to do. Okay, and even then, that might eventually get taken over as well by super AI intelligent that's coming, or generative AI. There's even more advanced AI systems that are coming that might even be able to do 100% of what humans do. Okay, so there might be no role for us at all. Okay, nobody's safe in many ways. So I had a few videos I want to show you. Let's start off with this one to show you not even Hollywood celebrities, who many people think are the elite class, not even they are safe. Actually, a lot of them are fed up and scared of what's about to come as well. So I'll show you why. AI is about to take over Hollywood. Take a look.
In the next 12 months, everything you know about movies and media is going to change. You will no longer need a camera, you won't need actors, you won't even need any money. You can describe it, you can make it. And that means Hollywood's monopoly on imagination is about to change. And they know this, they're preparing for it. Lionsgate just partnered with Runway AI. Disney has over 50 researchers rewriting productions with AI tools. Warner Brothers already uses algorithms to decide what actors get hired. And Netflix tested AI in its short film The Dog and the Boy with great success. We're even seeing new studios like Staircase that are producing feature-length films with AI right now. Deep Dub can translate voices across languages with perfect lip sync. You would never know. And text-to-video models like Veo and Sora 2 are creating scenes that look real. But this is just the beginning. This is a glimpse at what's coming. Within 12 months, we'll all become directors if we choose to, from the comfort of our own home. Every tool that once cost studios millions will soon live in your laptop or inside your cell phone. Actors will now compete with their digital doubles. Writers will compete with machines that never sleep and usually make no mistakes. And anyone, anywhere, will be able to create a film that looks like a $100 million production from their bedroom. So the question really isn't if this changes entertainment, it's who survives this. Because in the next 12 months, the entire creative world gets rewritten. That Star Wars story you always wanted to see, you can do it now. A version of Game of Thrones that you wanted, you can get that now. Whatever you choose is going to become what you watch. You get to write your own content. And even though this sounds like science fiction, it's something that's going to happen very soon. The only question is, what do you think? Is this a good thing for movies and entertainment? Or is this a disaster waiting to happen?
There you go, my friends. How wild is that, eh? And what I have to say about that is, if you don't want to see this happen, well, it's going to happen whether we like it or not, but if you still want to see human creators, you will still have the choice to do so, not just with the movies you watch, but also with music. Oh yeah, a lot of music is getting taken over by AI, but there's always going to be real musicians as well, and I think people will always gravitate to real music because human musicians, even human movies, all have something that the AI doesn't, and that's spirit, okay? So that's why you could listen to an AI-generated song, oh yeah, it's catchy, whatever, but it's not going to hit you the same because it doesn't have that same spirit that connects us, okay? So, and it goes on beyond just that, my friends, music and entertainment, but also content creators here on YouTube. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, more and more videos are all AI generated. It's not even humans anymore, and for me that pisses me off. You know, I used to go on TikTok and see so many great videos, and now when I scroll on there, I scroll for well, I don't scroll that long. I used to scroll for hours, but now I'll scroll for a few minutes, then I'll just give up if I can't find anything I like, because I don't want to be scrolling, you know, that hurts my brain. But everything, AI, and it's like, I want to see a real human talk here, not just AI. So you have the ability to support real creators, human creators such as myself and other great researchers. Never forget, always opt for the human, because you'll hear directly from source communications. Alright, but as you can see, it's taking over so many of these things, even YouTube, even content creation. Many people don't even think about this, and they're just watching AI videos all day. Right? It's scary. Now, let's get to another thing that's getting taken over. Right out of the movies, my friends. RoboCop. That's right, the whole police industry, soon it's all going to be robo-police, and we've seen much predictive programming of that. Let's take a look.
Miami, y'all better buckle up, because this is not an episode of Black Mirror. This is real life. So if you guys haven't heard, Miami PD just released the very first AI self-driving police vehicle. Yeah, no humans behind it whatsoever. They're talking about it's to free up the police officers' time so they can tend to even more important matters. Translation, they're letting Skynet patrol the block while the real cops watch through the eyes of the AI robot at headquarters.
Miami police say this is the future of law enforcement.
This vehicle is going to give us touch points with the community that we have never had before.
If you look past the flashing lights and logos, it's clear this is no ordinary police cruiser. This prototype SUV was designed to launch a drone, read license plates, and send live infrared video back to HQ. All without needing a police officer behind the wheel. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office says this is the nation's first autonomous police vehicle. The South Florida Department is rolling out the experimental vehicle thanks to funding from the Policing Lab.
What we're ultimately trying to do is to give the sworn officers the capability to make the best decision out there.
For now, Miami-Dade will essentially take the vehicle on a PR junket, seeking community input before it regularly patrols neighborhoods. If and when that day arrives, designers say this vehicle will offer a lot.
They don't need to be focused on driving and looking for animals, children, pedestrians running out into the road. The vehicle's going to watch those vulnerable road users and let the officer look for crime.
The easy-to-operate tethered drone gives police a bird's-eye, up-close view, even in the shadows. The car can also patrol targeted areas, deterring bad actors without Sheriff Rosie Cordero-Stutz needing to send actual deputies.
I would probably say that this vehicle will allow 5 to 10 deputies to go about other business that they might otherwise not be able to do.
Lab says the car can also help streamline arrests,
Fingerprint, 10 digits,
and relay real-time data.
Bus collision, an active shooter. You position this vehicle, and this information can be fed directly back to a command center for decision
So picture this: you're in Little Havana or in Wynwood, chilling and vibing, and all of a sudden a car pulls up with lights and sirens, and then you look in the vehicle, you see no police officer, and it's telling you to wait right there until a real police officer comes. What are you gonna do? Are y'all ready for Robocop in real life? Skynet in real life, y'all? They've been telling us through these movies, and now it's rolling out right in front of your face. What are y'all gonna do about it? This ain't no movie anymore, y'all. This is real life. What do you guys think about this video? Let me know down in the comments below. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
There you guys have it. Unreal, eh? We're talking Terminator, Skynet, stinking Robocop stuff happening. And soon they're not even going to be having real deputies because they'll just have robots walking around, humanoid AI robots who will do it, and they'll completely eliminate the deputies. Okay? That's where we're headed. So that whole industry's taken out. Of course, we've been seeing AI judges pop up in different places in the world. I think India has AI judges. I know China's got them, okay? So now you're not even got AI lawyers, judges, everything in there is going to be controlled by a robot. A robot's going to be deciding what your sentence will be if you break the rules, right? And of course, as we move forward into the future, breaking the rules could mean just speaking truth. And then you won't even have a human with human compassion to be able to say what a sentence is or maybe let you off the hook. It's going to be this AI demiurge force who's going to lock you away and throw away the key just because maybe you said something that goes against, goes against the grain, goes against what they want you to think. All right? So there's obviously a great area where this could be used for bad, you could say, where it could go wrong, not just against real criminals who've done real bad things, but for people who just stood up for freedom. Okay? And now, this one. Oh, look at that, my friends. I told you guys. Albania, the first member of government, is fully AI. So remember I made a video not too long ago, this one here, about how Elon Musk announced a new party and how AI just very well may be the next United States president? Link to that video is down below in the description. So many people laughed at old Linol. Oh yeah, so many laughed at old Linol. Alright? And saying, that's not gonna happen, you're crazy. And they don't think it's possible for AI to become a president. It's always gonna be humans or whatever. Meanwhile, just a few months after I made that video, what do we see now? Oh, an actual AI in member of government in Albania, and expect to start seeing this in more and more countries in the coming years, having members of government being AI. Eventually, you'll see a prime minister or a president of a country be completely AI, and then it will graduate, of course, to the United States. And then once the one world order is here, the leader will just, of the whole entire one world order, the new order that's coming in, will be AI. Okay, and technocrats will be behind the scenes prompting it in many ways, or serving it. Okay, so it's all wild stuff. The AI takeover is here, and it's just going to accelerate in the next 5 years. By the time Agenda 2030 is here, every aspect of your life will be controlled by the AI. Everything, society will be controlled by the AI. So what are the solutions for the individual so you don't have to be a little sheep who's sitting there on universal basic income connected to your digital ID and social credit score and all that, and if you don't do everything the government says, you won't get your $2,000 a month, your little slave money, so that you could pretty much just eat your crickets and GMO poison that you get from your shopping mart or whatever, grocery stores. Well, let's get into some possible solutions. Before we do, I just got to give a quick shout out to my sponsors down there at OWELI. All right, my friends, right there we got the CMOS and the 10 shrooms. Okay, what a great combo, my friends. I take medicinal mushrooms, not psychedelic, but they're medicinal. There's over 10. You got lion's mane, you got reishi, chaga, cordyceps, and many others, maitake. Okay, all of them have amazing healing benefits. It's going to give you energy, even detoxifying effects, even spiritual effects, really, because when your body is in its best shape, it helps with your spirituality, and some of them even have shown to stimulate the third eye and whatnot. And when you combine that with CMOS, okay, CMOS, of course, is a multi-mineral, multivitamin. It's got that specific OWELI supplement has all 102 essential minerals within it, okay, and it's high in iodine, which detoxifies the third eye. So when you combine these two supplements, you're just in the best health possible. I've been taking that combination for years now, and of course I feel amazing. So hey, it's great to use both of them at the same time, but if you only want to try the mushrooms or only want to try the CMOS, of course you could get that separately and you'll still have great benefits. All right, link is down below in the description. Of course, there'll be a 15% off coupon and free shipping in the United States. Of course, speak to your doctor if you have any health concerns. Make sure you have no allergies to anything, you know, to any of the mushrooms or the CMOS. But yeah, besides that, definitely look into it, check it out, and of course, buying those supplements helps support this channel so I can continue making these videos. All right, so what got me thinking to make this video was this clip I saw. This guy, Noah Yuval Harari. Okay, a lot of people hate this guy because he's connected to the WEF, and whether you hate him or you love him, I don't think anybody loves him, but he tells you the truth straight up, and people don't like it because he's a little bit arrogant and obviously connected to Klaus Schwab. Maybe he doesn't have the best intentions for humanity, or maybe he just tells you the truth and you just don't want to accept it. I don't know, but he does speak the truth, and I do listen to what he has to say because he is telling us what's coming. So let's hear what he has to say about AI taking over the jobs. Take a look.
One of the biggest things happening in the world right now is a shift in authority from humans to algorithms, to AI. Now, increasingly, this decision about you, about your life, is done by an AI. One of the biggest dangers with this new technology is that, a lot of jobs will disappear. So the biggest question in the job market would be whether you are able to retrain yourself to fill the new job, and whether the government is able to create this vast educational system to retrain the population. People will need to retrain themselves, or if they can't do it, then if you can't do it, the danger is you fall down to a new class, not unemployed, but unemployable, the useless class. People who don't have any skills that the new economy needs.
All right, so as you can see, humans will become useless, and a lot of people do not like hearing that, but it is just the fact of the situation. Okay? You'll become useless, and that's what they call useless eaters, right? So what's the solution he laid out? Well, you're going to have to relearn what to do. So if you find a job where you learn how to work with machines, then maybe you might have a future. So maybe, machines might break down in the future. Maybe some of these robot bodies will break down, so you could learn how to fix a robot, There might be jobs where you have to prompt AI in certain ways So that is one way to go. All right, you got to start learning of the future industries, which there will be job opportunities there. But for me, I think what the true solution is right now, okay, is investing in the new financial system. And I know I've talked about it in many videos, but I'm going to continue talking about it to you guys, because we are getting at that point of no return, and your window of opportunity is about to leave, and we have a very unique opportunity where we could get our money out of the dying old order financial fiat system, which is disappearing, and transfer that into the new financial system, into certain cryptocurrencies, and possibly become wealthy to the point we're not going to need to depend on the CBDC, stablecoin, social credit score, universal basic income system. Now, you still might not actually be exempt. You still might have to have the digital ID, and you might have to, you might be connected to the social credit score still and all that, but you won't be reliant on the universal basic income, at least. For example, in China, there's a guy, I saw a video, and this guy, he is dependent on the universal basic income there to pretty much eat, to survive, right? And I guess he didn't clean out his goats, the goat area where his goat was, and the goat crapped and pissed or whatever, you know. And a neighbor called and told on him or reported him, and he got his social credit score got affected, and due to that he got cut off from his benefits, from his universal basic income pretty much, and now he can't afford to buy food or anything like that. So sure, the system we're moving into, whether we like it or not, it's pretty much here already, whether you comply or consent or not. I've shown that in my past few videos. We might not be able to escape that system that's coming. Like, by all means, try. You want to resist and not comply and this and that, great, more power to you. But like I said, I don't believe this is going to be something that you'll be able to opt out of, because the system's already built. It's not being pushed through in the way you think it's being pushed through. If you want to exist at all in this system that we're moving into, you're going to be in the system, okay? So we're not going to get into that whole topic again, but pretty much it might be unavoidable, and if you're dependent on the government to give you the money, well, you could get cut off. But if you have your own money already, and you have it in your own cold wallet, because with crypto you become your own bank when you get your own cold wallet, right? You're not dependent on the banks, the government banks and everything like that, and you're wealthy with that. Well, when you need money, you could just take that out, throw it into whatever stable coin that you'll be using, the new digital money, right? And you won't be dependent on that. And sure, you'll still have restrictions and whatnot. Let's say, you know, with a low social credit score, if you break the rules, you can't go on a train, you can't do that. Yeah, we got to accept that there's going to be loss of freedom in the area we're coming into. And sure, resist where you can, don't comply, whatever, but we got to do the best we can to push back. But we also got to be prepared that what we're moving into, that might not be the case for many reasons that we'll get into. So have a backup plan, a plan B, you know. And the interesting thing is I researched this, and people who are in China, the people who are wealthy, who have a lot of money, they're not as negatively affected by the social credit score system, because they're able to use their money pretty much to buy their freedom in a way. So, you know, if they have any fines, they could pay them to boost their social credit score. You can do good deeds, so you could donate to charities, do good things with the money you have, and next thing you know, you raise your social credit score. People who are wealthy have an easier time with the social credit score. My friends, money controls the world. When you have the money, you could buy your freedom, pretty much. Okay? So investing a little bit of money now into things like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff can set you up for this new financial system, because it is already here. Just like AI is taking over everything else and everything's becoming digital now, so is finance. I got a little video to show you guys now of the IMF director. Okay? That's the International Monetary Fund, which controls the world's finances pretty much and all that. And this is what she has to say. Take a look.
But generally, you tell them to embrace it?
I'm telling countries, accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto, both unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. But do not close your eyes to reality.
There you go. So everything's going digital, all right? It's all happening. I study this stuff, my friends. The new financial system is here and it's being ushered in. Everything's switching over as we speak, but in a quiet way that the average person has no idea. All that's needed to fully switch us over is one black swan event, which is coming with WW3. Things are ramping up on a daily basis. And that one event, things will be transferred over to the point they may not even need to do that. All they got to do is announce new tariffs and crash the economy, which we just saw last week. Trump announcing the tariffs and everything with China. And the whole crypto market crashed. And the stock markets. But this was done on purpose. Okay? Because always before crypto goes parabolic and goes to all-time new highs, they systematically crush the markets to flush out the bulls, flush out the people who have a lot, because then they'll panic, they'll sell. That's why it's important, if you want to be a millionaire with this stuff, is to buy and hold. Don't trade or any of that stuff. Buy, hold, don't panic when things go down. Okay? Because they're saying in November, December, going to 2026, your window of opportunity might be over. XRP could jump up from $2.50 now to $10, $20, $30, maybe $100. Some are even saying $1,000. In the next 5 years, $10,000 for one coin. So if you got 100 coins of XRP, that'll be at 1 million. If you got 1,000 coins of XRP, 10 million in 5 years, possibly. Not financial advice, but I'm just telling you about how it could go down. It's up to you guys to research this and make your own financial decisions, but it is possible. Let's say you get 500 XRP. In 5 years, that might be 5 million. Okay? And then it keeps going up. Someday it might be 50,000 for one coin. Might be 100,000 someday, like how Bitcoin is now. And at that point, you got 50 million, 100 million. Okay? It will help you in the new financial system. It's not about becoming rich. It's about being able to support yourself and your family so you can go down a better timeline, not be forced onto universal basic income where you got to get injections and stuff like that just so you could get your measly little $2,000 a month. You know? And what that IMF director said, it's so true. She says, if you don't, you gotta face reality. It's here. You could, if you don't want to go ahead with the new order, go ahead. Good luck to you. And that's what I'm saying to you guys. Many people in the truth community are resisting this. They're holding on to the old order, thinking that they can stop it when it's already here and it's not stoppable. Holding on to cash, which is the old order. It's the beast system of the old order. And yeah, maybe you could take your cash and you could buy things. You got a little bit more privacy because it's not tracked as much, right? But the problem with that is your cash is losing its value. You could buy hardly anything. You go to the grocery store and get one bag of food for $50. Not even that. And the day is going to come in the very near future where all that cash is going to be is worthless paper. It won't even be accepted anymore. So yeah, cling to your old order, but have a backup plan, and that's investing into assets. Digital assets, of course, the cryptos, it's the new financial system. That you're not going to stop it. It's already here. Gold and silver, that's another good thing, physical, that you could hold on to. That's been going up crazy too. You can't go wrong with gold and silver. But accept reality, my friends, that this new system is here. We don't have enough people to stop it. I know a lot of people want to believe that, oh, I'm not going to comply, and we'll be able to stop this because nobody wants it, and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, my friends, I just don't see that. Not nearly enough people care to stop this. You know, a lot of people have shown me, they show me the petition in the UK. They announced the digital ID thing, and oh, we got a petition. Last time I checked, 2.8 million signatures, and they're acting like this is some big, huge win. Like, look at how many people are against it. Woohoo! We're gonna stop it. And for me, I'm looking at that, okay, 2.8 million, maybe it's at 3 million now, okay? And then I look up population of the UK. Population of 69 million people. How is 3 million signatures a win? Talk to me when you have at least 35 million signatures. Then maybe I'll get a little excited. But until then, you got like not even 5% of the population on board with this. Okay? When you really look at the scale, how big or how many people are in the UK, if that's all you can get is 3 million signatures, that's scary. That's demotivating for me. Okay? We need at least the majority of the population on board with that. Hey friends, I just want to add to my point here. I learned this after recording this video, but I saw a video from Gareth Icke, David Icke's son, and he was talking about the big digital ID protests that they just had in London against digital ID. And he mentioned the attendance of that protest. So guess how many people showed up to protest against the digital ID? And I do believe London has close to 10 million citizens who live there. How many? 5,000 people showed up. Okay? So this is just to show you guys how little pushback there truly is. And he even mentioned how, yeah, it's a small crowd, and he tried to be positive and be like, this is just the beginning though. Same with the pandemic, you know, when the protests first started, there was, only thousands of people, but towards the end, a lot more came out, and we eventually overturned things and whatnot. So he still has hope and faith that whenever digital ID does get passed or come in, or when it gets closer to that or whatever, that once people start seeing the negative impacts on their life, that there'll be more protests. So he's not giving up, and this is just the beginning. But for me, sorry, I think that's way too late by that time. That's what one of these things the digital ID is going to be doing, is making sure it shuts down protests and stuff. Okay, you can't wait until it's passed. By then it's too late. Because if you go out and protest, guess what's going to happen? All that's going to happen is you're going to face consequences with your digital ID, and you'll get cut off from your banking or whatever. You're doing something that they don't like, they could cut you off like that, right? Same thing kind of happened with the trucker protests in Canada during the pandemic. We had huge attendances, especially they went down to Ottawa. They were protesting, honking the horns, right? The minute the government started implicating harsh measures and consequences for those people, such as debanking them, oh yeah, that happened. People got their bank account shut down, lost access to their money, and this is all without a CBDC digital ID system. They still have the power to do that, you see. You already have a social credit score in many ways. But yeah, they shut it down like that, and the protests stopped, okay, because people had the consequences. Well, if you're waiting for big attendances to show up to protest digital ID once digital ID is set in place, it's going to shut down like that, because they will be able to bring those consequences even easier. And as soon as people get those consequences, then that's it. And that's one of the main things this digital ID system is going to be doing, to shut these things down. The time to stop this was a long time ago. That's my point. And as you could see, 5,000 people out of 10 million showing up, only 3 million signatures out of 69 million. The vast majority does not care. The vast majority will not resist, and those who do will step down as soon as there's consequences put on them as well. So I just want to add that to this video, that this system, whether we like it or not, is pretty much unstoppable at this point, because not enough people care, and the time to stop it was actually a long time ago, before all the infrastructure has been set into place and everything's been rolling out, especially in these other ways that you don't really know about, and we've already consented and complied in so many ways, right, with phones and whatnot, okay? So we need to learn how we can navigate in this new system that's playing out. You could resist it all you want, you could try to resist it, but I think, for me anyways, I want to learn. I don't think it's stoppable, so I'm learning how I could navigate in this new system so that I can have more freedoms and not be a total slave. Okay, but we gotta understand and learn how to do that. But can we deny reality that it's here? That might get you left behind. The choice is up to you with what you want to do, of course, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Now let's get back to the video. And I get it, a lot of people who are in the truth community, you see your Facebook feeds, which is your digital ID. That's the funny thing, you've already consented with digital ID if you're on social media. But, yeah, of course, being tracked and traced, everything. But people's social media feeds, of course, it's all controlled by AI. So you will see a lot of anti-digital ID stuff popping up on your social media feed. And that'll give you this sense of, we're winning, nobody wants this, right? Because that's how the AI is. It shows you what you're interested in, which can benefit in many cases when you're learning knowledge and whatnot, right? But, with that being said, it's not like that for other people, okay? People who aren't awake, or people who are not into freedom stuff, who don't even know what's going on, they ain't getting stuff about anti-CBDC or anti-digital ID. No, they could care less, okay, my friends? They could care less. Alright, all I gotta do is go out in public and go on a train here in Germany, you know, and observe. I could do this in Canada, I could do it anywhere. I could go to the gym, and I see how many people are hooked to their phones. They all are scrolling, and sometimes I see, I'm kind of curious, and it's in my field of vision, so I could look and see what they're doing on their phone. No, they're not texting someone like an important call or something like that. Everyone is just scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, just mindlessly scrolling. Even at the gym, I know I've complained about this many times, but it just baffles my mind. You're at the gym to exercise and work out, and here you are just freaking on the treadmill walking and scrolling. You can't even set it down during your workout. And it's everybody out in public. People are hooked to their technology. All that's needed is for them to say, oh, you can't access the internet. A Black Swan event, you can't access the internet without a digital ID. You think these people who are hopelessly addicted to this technology, brainwashed, they complied and consented with the whole Rona situation, everything we just went through, went and got their, you know what, over 90% of the population did that, yes? You think they're going to say, oh no, and they're against it and stuff, and they're going to give up their phones, give up their livelihoods once they say you need it for banking? You think we're going to stop that when I guarantee you 90% plus of the population, they do not care, they do not see the danger, and they're addicted to the technology. Okay? So this is the reality. This is the system we're in. Your 3 million signatures ain't gonna change shit. Sorry to say. Yes, it's sad. It's a shame. But it is what it is. So are you going to deny reality, cling to the old order, and then ultimately get left behind to the point you'll be moved on to this CBDC stablecoin system, where if you don't follow, if you say one wrong thing, you can get cut off from your little money that you have, because AI is taking over your job. You're not going to have any work, and pretty much you're going to be depopulated. Or are you going to be smart, pivot now, and invest in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in the new financial system? Look up the ISO 222 coins, XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algo. There's a whole list of them. ISO 222. But the best one, in my opinion, is XRP. Invest, get your money out of the banks, get it out of fiat, put what you can into the cryptos, and maybe that is your solution. That way you won't have to worry about AI taking over your jobs or anything like that, because you're going to be wealthy in the new financial system, or at least have enough money so you can keep a roof over your head, food on the table, and then work on your spirituality. Start distancing yourself from technology. Sure, we might not be able to escape this new beast system altogether 100%, but we can limit the amount of time we spend on this technology. Only use it as a tool when we need to. And then distance yourself. Don't be using social media all the time. The day's going to come, I'm going to delete all my social medias, YouTube included, because it's not worth sitting here speaking truth just to get kicked off when I'm shadow banned anyways, right? The day's going to come where I'm just going to truly stop merging with technology and return to how things should be, and that's life without a smartphone or anything like that. Only use it when I need to for survival, right? But besides that, not being plugged into social media anymore. I'm so over that, my friends. I want to focus on my meditation. I want to focus on reconnecting with nature. You can't do that when you're constantly on social media, which is your digital ID, a form of it. Everywhere you go, being tracked and traced with your technology. I want to reconnect with nature. So I still got a mission to do. I'm still pumping out videos, my friends, in the meantime. But the day's going to come where I think if we truly want to go down that organic ascension timeline and whatnot, we'll have to distance ourselves even more from this technology. Yes, it'll be needed as a tool to be able to operate doing certain things in the new financial system. I'm not blind to reality of that. Okay, I've accepted the reality. But that doesn't mean we have to be totally consumed by it either. Okay? Now it's very interesting. A couple more points I want to end on is another reason all this stuff is happening. A lot of people in the truth community have no idea why all this is taking place. Why is AI taking over everything? Why are digital IDs coming out with carbon trackers, tracking how much you could eat, and all that stuff, okay? Social credit scores. And I've often told you guys many times, there's a bigger reason for all this, and that's because we are in the midst of a great matrix reset. Our realm is changing, and we're about to go through a massive pole shift, cataclysmic event. And things are progressively going to get worse as the years go on. Yes, even with the climate, you will see. Things are getting colder and colder. There's going to be more natural disasters, more earthquakes, and no, it's not going to be all man-made. I do understand they have technology to do some of that, but this is a real pole shift event. Anybody who's been studying what's been going on with the cycles of the sun and the Earth's magnetic field knows there's a real natural phenomenon going on here, and it's connected to the great matrix event that we're going through. We go through these cycles, we go through these resets. The elites know this. That's why they're building underground bunkers to start going underground. And they know damn well what's about to come. And with these changes in the weather already, they're having problems growing crops worldwide. Farmers are having real problems growing crops due to droughts, flooding, and all sorts of things, okay? follow David Dubine, Adept 2030. He tracks it all and shows evidence of all this happening. We're literally going to be going through food shortages in the very near future. Makes sense because, you know, if you follow the predictive programming of the end time biblical 7 seals, right? The third seal is famine, which would be 2028. Some researchers have said every 4 years the first seal started in 2020, and then every 4 years a new seal breaks out, which so far is measured up. The pandemic being the first seal, second seal to take peace from the earth. We see the wars raging. Well, 2028, if this theory is true, it's famine. And you'll see there's already crop shortages happening all over. That's because things are getting colder in this realm, and the environment to grow food is getting worse. The elites know this. That's another reason why inflation, prices for everything are going up. That's why they want cricket farms for you to eat crickets. There's not going to be food in the future. It's going to be very scarce, which is going to cause chaos in society, which is another reason why they want to do food rationing with your digital IDs, because there's not going to be enough food to go around. And yes, they're making situations worse by destroying a lot of it too, because order out of chaos, right? Also, they've flooded our Western countries with, you know, immigration and all sorts of stuff like that, all right? And our countries that were once very nice countries here in Europe, beautiful, now it's becoming like third world countries. I know, I'm in Europe right now. I'm in Germany, okay? And I've been all over Europe. And I'm telling you, certain areas here, as beautiful as places this is, it's becoming very third world country-like, because the people who come from third world countries bring their culture and their way of life here, unfortunately. And these beautiful cities, the crime rates are going through the roof, and you go, there's garbage all over the streets. They just dump things wherever they want, you know. And it's a shame that this has happened. And but it's chaos. It's order out of chaos, right? Well, perhaps this digital ID system, as you can see, police are getting taken over by this AI force, all that stuff that we've looked at. Perhaps, you know, as things move on, things are going to become even more chaotic, out of control. And as we start getting less food and stuff like that, and the chaos in the streets, they're going to need AI to govern things, because even police are going to panic, the human police, because they're not going to be able to feed themselves. So they will need AI police to enforce the order in the system, right? And, you know, I've been pondering a lot lately, but I think a digital ID system and AI, if it was governed by a positive force, like by a positive AI system prompted by good people, that's probably what we need, okay? Let's be honest. That's probably what we need, because all you have to do is come to Europe. Not even come to Europe. Go downtown, wherever you live. Go downtown and see how people live. See the way they treat the cities. See the violence, the rape, everything out of control, the drug use, everything. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Maybe if we had a social credit score and a digital ID system, maybe things would get a little bit better, because people would be on their best behavior. And there would be consequences for their actions. Maybe that would be the solution, but see, the problem is it's not a good digital ID system that's being rolled out by good people with good intentions with a good AI. It's a negative, demonic AI with negative, demonic people. And unfortunately, I don't know how much cleaning up of the crimes and horrible stuff going on is going to take place. It's probably going to be more so coming after the good few remaining people who want freedom and good stuff. That's probably, so that's where the negative side comes in. But who knows, maybe there will be some upsides to it. Maybe some positive things will come from it. I don't know. All I know is, as a whole, humans, the way we've gotten in society and what's happened to all the countries and stuff, you know, a lot of people think that, oh, we're fine the way we are. We're not. things are getting worse and worse, and they're going to continue to get worse and worse as the world goes into more chaos and this reset gets closer with the natural disasters, less food. It's going to get out of control, and it's all by design. The elites know what they're doing. So will certain parts of the digital ID be necessary to keep the order due to the chaos? The food rationing? Maybe. Or who knows, maybe it will just be a total shit show, and the remaining people who have good intentions, who try to make a good change, will be silenced. We know there's going to be massive abuses of power. Like I said, I just wish it was a positive force being prompted by positive people, because then maybe we'd see some positive change. But all I know is this is a dying world, okay? And a purification event is going to take place, whether you agree with it or not. A matrix reset and a new simulation will form, governed by the same dark forces. But this is also an opportunity for people to choose a better timeline and escape the matrix too. There is hope for the individual, so don't get too down on the situation, as I've told you guys. And like I said, the solution is going within in these days, trying to distance yourself as much as you can from the technology, using it as a tool for survival, but going down a spiritual path, spiritual awakening, and allowing spirit to guide you to the exit of this simulation, because the end of the simulation comes with an ascension event that all the religious texts, predictive programming have prophesied, right? Many different cultures speak about these two different timelines, you know, and about how a certain group of people will be spared, you know, the new Jerusalem, whatever, you know, new heaven, new earth, whatever, you know what I mean. We've covered it in great detail here on this channel. So the solution is to go on that positive timeline, and I do believe that learning to operate in this new system unfolding will be able to buy you more freedom, and it doesn't take much money to secure your future, possibly, in the new system by investing in that new financial system, and that way you could use what you get there to further you on your spiritual journey, so you don't have to be in survival mode, reliant on a universal basic income in a beast system like that. Maybe it'll buy you that a little bit more freedom than everybody else, so you can focus on your meditation and on your spirituality and going down that better timeline, so that when this matrix event, the reset happens, the Nibiru event, the pole shift, whatever you want to call it, and the world split, maybe you will be filtered out of this simulation and return to prime reality, or at least a better timeline. Return to your light body, 5D and beyond, and escape this demiurge, phantom, fallen matrix. The grand finale is coming, my friends. And we're here now. So time to prepare is now. Stop putting it off. Do what you gotta do, so you could at least have a little bit more freedom in the future to secure yourself, so you can focus on these things. And that's all I have to say. I know that was a long rant, but I had a lot to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, that's it. So hope you've subscribed by this time. As I say, subscribe to survive. Smash the like button. I'm on the website Buy Me a Coffee. If you'd like to buy old Linol a coffee or ice cream or burger, whatever I set it to, your support means the world to me. And of course, as a thank you, I will always send you guys some free Patreon videos to your email. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is down below in the description, and Patreon link and everything else. And of course, what means the most to me is hearing what you guys have to say. Leave a comment and let me know. And that's it. Until next time, Linol signing off. Love you guys.